ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Mandalam 9, Suktam 86. Rishi Masha Agrishta Nivavari Sikata Adi Devada Pavamana Swama Chandas Jagati. This suktam is a collection of perceptions of a few sages. So, repetition of the same idea can be found in a few works. Om Prata Ashava Prata Ashava Pavamana Dhijavo. 86.1. O purified or flowing Atmiya Soma, your delightful essences, which are fast and are as quick as mind and are as though born from a courser, flow everywhere on their own. Your drops, which are shining, are having good wings, are sweet, are delight-giving. They sit around the cloud. Flowing essence of Atma Soma pervades the material universe. Drops of Soma, which shine with spiritual light energy or ray, are seen around ignorance clouding Atma. 86.2. Pratemadaso Madirasa as Ashavo. O shining Soma, your fast-moving essences are exhilarating and are delight-giving. They are caused to flow one by one like chariot horses. Your drops, which are sweet and are like waves or pulses or illusions of water, float towards wielder of Vajra Indra, like a milch cow with milk moves towards her young one. Soma essence flows directly to Indra, the universal manifested self, for activating him. Energy to a flowing fluid is generally imparted in pulses or waves, as in the case of blood flow. This is the assumption of the wise sages. The Rig seems to be self-explanatory otherwise. Atyona Hyano Abhivajamarsha. 86.3. O shining Soma, being impelled like a horse to battle, possessor of your own self, you flow towards the covering, which is like the mother of the cloud. Shower of happiness Soma is purified in the undecaying or woolly strainer over its surface for the most liberal Indra. Comment on that. Soma essence containing spiritual rays of Atma is conceived of in the minds of intelligent sages. Mind is the origin of ignorance, since it has no real existence independent of Atma. The flowing or unreal part of Soma appears as inert bodies, and the witnessing self is the birthless Atma. Soma moves towards universal Jivatma, Indra, for assisting him in the creation of the universe. Ignorance or Mahamaya covering Atma is the cause or mother of birth. This is the converse of birthlessness, achala aja atma. Prata Ashwini Bhavamana Thijuvo 86.4. O purified or flowing Soma, your shining dharas, which are like horsemen and are speedy as mine, flow with vital spirit. According to Rita, you are presented by the sages who arrange you, adorn you. They cause you to flow inside the stationary abode. Comment: Soma essence carrying spiritual light energy or ray of Atma moves from one body of living creature to another. Residing in the heart space of each, it becomes the witnessing self as long as the creature is alive. This is the picture of Soma as perceived by the wise sages. 96.5. Vishwadhamani Vishwaraksha. O perceiver of all, Atmiya Soma, inventive flag-like spiritual energy or rays of yours, who is truly the Lord of all, go towards all homes. Pervading them, you flow with good works or good deeds. You shine as the protector of all the worlds. 6 of them. Spiritual rays of Atma go to all living beings, activating each one. The other part of the Ruk is self-explanatory. From the grossest to the most abstract, the worlds are Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, Maha, Jana, Tapa, Satyam. Ubhayata Pavamanasya Rashmayo 86.6. O Soma, Atmiya Soma, who is not really flowing and unchanging, the flag-like spiritual light energy or rays of yours, appearing purified, go towards both places. While the ray gets purified in the presence of the strainer, when sitting down in the homes, you sit inside the pots. The twofold activity of flowing and residing of Soma is being repeated here. Yajñasya Ketu Pavate Swadhvara 86.7. Banner of sacrifice, performer of good sacrifice, Atmiya Soma flows. He approaches the well-prepared home of the shining beings. Soma, having thousands of streams, flows towards the covering. Shower of happiness Soma approaches making noise, crosses the strainer. Countless Atmiya Somadharas flow towards the ignorance layer covering Atma. That is implied meaning. 86.8. Raja Samudram Nadyo. Lord Soma plunges into the Soma reservoir and the flowing water streams. Getting mixed in the flowing streams, he is united with the illusion of essence of water. Supporter of the space, shining Soma is seated over the undecaying or woolly enclosure or surface as the Lord of the earth. Comment: essence of Soma enters his reservoir. Getting mixed with the essence of flowing water particles, he picks up the unreality of movement from one from one living body to another. The ray Soma stays as the cause and lord of the manifested universe, for the most abstract space to the grossest earth, as stated in the next track. Undecaying enclosure, Varam Avyayam, could be the minds of the wise sages having knotted hair on their heads. Grey-colored cloud resembles grey matter of the mind. Divo Nasanu Stanayan 86.9. Spiritual Soma makes noise as though reverberating the summit of the space. By his good works, the space and earth are supported. That Soma, getting purified, flows. Understanding Indra's friendship, he sits among the pots or living bodies. For fulfilling Indra's needs, Soma is seated with Indra, Jivatma, in the heart spaces of living creatures. Spiritual Soma moves, making the sound Om. All these ideas are repeated here in this sutta. 86.10. Jyotiryajnasya pavade madhu. Atmiya Soma, 86.10. Atmiya Soma, leading light of sacrifices, makes the favorite essence of shining beings. Soma is the protector and creator of all material objects and possessor of all manifested wealths. He holds or gives the secret jewel, namely spiritual energy, which is his own. This essence is exhilarating, is delightful, and is associated with Indra. Soma, the leading light of sacrifices, including the sacrifice of creation of the universe. The secret jewel here implies spiritual light ray. Favorite essence of wise sages is flowing essence of Atma, immortality bestowing nectar brought by the golden winged eagle Garuda from Satyaloka. Idea is being repeated. 86.11. Abhikrandan Kalasham Vajyarshati. Protector of the space, shining Soma, having hundreds of dharas, is conspicuous and is quickly moving. Making noise, he flows towards the parts of living bodies. Soma, the ray or spiritual light energy quanta, shower of happiness, getting purified through the woolly strainer with the fluidity of water, sits in the home with his friend Indra. Soma flows from one heart space to another among living creatures. The spiritual light ray, Soma, sits with Jivatma in the heart space during the lifetime of living creature, as witnessing said, Agre Sindhunam Pavamano Arshadhyagre. 86.12. Flowing or purified Atmiya Soma flows in front of the streaming water particles. The firstborn Soma goes among the spiritual light rays in front of the Vedic speech. He bestows the great wealth, namely spiritual energy, of the quick-moving Soma first. Showerer of happiness, Atmiya Soma, having a good weapon, meaning spiritual light ray, is becoming praised by the generators of Soma. Soma causes the appearance of the moving essence or spiritual light ray of Atma. He is talked of as the firstborn or the cause of manifestation of the universe in Vedic hymns. He bestows a sense of life on Atma, on the sacrificers, and reveals the truth. Then he gets praised by them through Vedic hymns. I am Madavan Chakuno Yatha. This 86.13. This purified or flowing Atmiya Soma, having a purpose in mind, move in the woody strainer with illusion. O the wise Indra, with your knowledge and action only, the shining Soma flows inside the space and earth. For moving from one body to another, Soma moves in the cloud of ignorance to pick up the illusory flowing part. Then he brings to life Indra, the manifested self, and through him, Soma causes the creation of the universe from space to earth. This is the purpose Atmiya Soma had in his mind. Drapim masano yajato divasprusam. 86.14. Shining Soma wearing a garment which touches the space is worship worthy, is traveling through the atmosphere. He only is placed among living creatures and is a creator of it on his own. He approaches or enters the cloud, ignorance cloud. He serves the ancient protector of the cloud, Indra. The cloud could be physical or symbolic for ignorance. With this clarification, both superficial and symbolic meanings of the Rig could become clear. Here, the garment could be spiritual splendor of Atma, which bestows existence on universe made of Panchabhutas. So, asya vishe mahisharmayachati. 86.5. Spiritual Soma first penetrates his home. Then he sustains great shelter in his dwelling. Then he attains his abode in the supreme space. From that time, he wanders all over the world, uniting all like Atma. Soma is also a unifying entity. Soma enters the abode of Atma and reveals self-knowledge. That abode is the great shelter. When Soma gets identified with the supreme space, he becomes the universal impeller or moving witnessing self. Pro ayasid indurindrasya nishkritam. Drop of Atmiya Soma properly attains the well-prepared home of Indra. However, Soma, the friend of Indra, does not measure the devouring of his friend Indra. Soma moves through a path having hundreds of holes in the pot, together with the streams, like a man moving with young girls. Soma enters the heart space with Indra, witnessing self. Soma is only a witness of actions of Atma, of Jivatma, Indra, and does not measure them. However, each drop of Soma moves from one body and getting attached to each one of them for some time, like a man attaching himself to his girlfriends, giving an appearance of one flowing stream. Thus Soma drops flow, setting up thousands of streams with respect to both space and time. This is the implied meaning of the Rig. Pravodhiyo mandrayo. 86.17. O Soma, your praisers who are intelligent are desires of pleasant speech, and their praises approach you in their dwellings, namely in their minds. Thoughtful praisers praise Soma. The speeches mingle with spirit, with vital spirit, with spiritual light ray, along which quantum of spiritual energy flow continuously. Anasoma Samyatam 86.18. O powerful spiritual Soma, being purified by us, you cause unfailing flow of self-contained nourishing food, which is being yielded to us unceasingly 3 times a day, and which brings us wealth. That essence is abounding in food, is vigorous and is sweet, and that is associated with good heroes. This ruk and the next ruk, Soma serves as a good food for intelligent wise sages. That is the one aspect of the ruk. She bestows all kinds of wealth on sacrifices. She is the maker of flowing streams as described earlier in 86.16. Rest of the 2 ruks should be understandable based on earlier comments. Vrisha Madinam Pavate Vijakshana 86.19. Shining Soma is showerer of happiness of intellectuals. He is conspicuous and is promoter of days, dawns, and the space. He flows. Maker of flowing streams, he enters the heart of Indra. With thoughtful men, he desires to go to the parts or bodies. Manishibhi Pavade Bhuvya 86.20. Ancient, wise Atmiyasama flows within thoughtful persons. Controlled by leaders of man, he makes noise to go towards the drinking vessels. Generating the name of the triad, he pours out sweet essence for creating friendship of Indra and Vayu. Atmiya Soma, who is the causer, generates the effect, namely the subtle and gross worlds, thus generating the triad. Drinking vessels stand for bodies of living beings towards which drops of Soma flow to become witnessing selves. The bodies are maintained by Jivatma and Pranas. Ayam Punana Ushaso Vidachayat 86.21. This creator of universe, Atmiya Soma, getting purified nicely, gives existence to or illumines dawns. This Soma came into being with quanta of spiritual energy or flowing streams. This Soma yielding 21 flowing mixtures flows wonderfully, imparting pleasure for the heart. 21 comment 21 flowing mixtures may correspond to 21 samhithas mentioned in 10.90.15. These are associated with a living body. Soma enters the body as witnessing self through the drops of flowing Atmiya Soma. Pleasure implies essence of life here. 86.22. Pavasva Soma Divyeshu Thamasu. O powerful spiritual Soma, cast in the vessel and in the strainer you flow in the shining homes or bodies, sitting in Indra's stomach and making noise. Controlled by leaders of man, you ascend the space. Soma through meaning Soma through Indra bestows life on or activates shining beings like Aditi, sons, etc. He appears as or cause of appearance of the sun in the sky. Adribhisutapavase pavitra 86.23. O conspicuous, powerful Atmiya Soma, extracted with the clouds, you flow in the strainer, entering Indra's stomach. You become beholder or leader of men. You uncover the enclosure for thoughtful men who are shining like burning charcoal. Comment: Soma becomes the witnessing self sitting in the heart space of men along with Indra and leads thoughtful men to truth. Enclosure is abode of Atma, Satyaloka. Tam Soma Pavamanam 86.24. O powerful spiritual Soma, meditating men desiring protection, gladden the purified or flowing you. A large bird with good wings procured from beyond the shining space, you, who is upheld by all intelligent men. This is poetic fancy. The large bird is symbolic of the inner voice or universal impeller who reveals truth to a meditating man. It is believed to bring the nectar of immortality to shining beings. Avve Punanam Parivara Urmina 86.25. 7 cows or speeches praise the spiritual light ray of Atma, Soma, who is being purified away from illusion in the to be protected enclosed space, which means woolly strainer. Great intelligent man hasten on the wise Soma, who is seated in the lap of water particles in the atmosphere. The womb or abode of Ruta, which is Satyaloka. Vedic comment, implied meaning. Vedic mantras in 7 chandases praise Soma. Intelligent sages make Ray Soma to flow in their minds for picking up the flowing property of water, which is a basic form of matter found in nature. Indu Punano Adigahate Mudho 86.26. Drop of Atmiya Soma getting purified makes all paths beautiful for an offerer of oblations. Desirable wise Soma, adorning and making himself ray of spiritual light, flows all around the strainer or enclosed space, frolicking like a horse. All these ideas have already been explained before. Asaschata Shatadhara Abhishriyu 86.27. Hundreds of shining Somadharas, severally and one by one, are extending everywhere and are seekers of water. They celebrate the Soma ray, spiritual energy quanta, favorably. The movable ones cleanse Soma, who is seated in the third surface, surrounded by spiritual light rays in the radiance of the shining space. Shining space, reference Purusha 10.90.1, meaning the moving streams of living creatures proclaim the glory of Soma ray. The third surface or layer imply the causal world of Jivatmas, the connecting or missing link between this manifested nature and birthless Brahman. Living creatures pay tribute to Soma, the witnessing self, by being active. Soma carries spiritual light rays radiated by the shining space Atma or Purusha. Tavema Praja Divyasya 86.28. O purified, powerful spiritual Soma, all these subjects come into being from your shining seeds or spiritual light rays. You are the master of all worlds. Therefore, the universe is in your control. You are the foremost causer of Rita, order of nature. Tvam samudro asi Vishwavitkave 86.29. O purified or flowing, wise Atmiya Soma, you are all possessing like the sky. These 5 directions are in your disposition. You hold exceedingly well the space and earth. The sun reflects your spiritual lights only. Atmiya Soma is in control of the manifestation of the 5 basic elements: the space, energy, air, water and earth. Part of the earth is self-explanatory. Tam pavitre rajaso vidharmani 86.30. O purified or flowing Atmiya Soma, you are being cleansed in the strainer, which supports the 6 worlds for shining beings. Most excellent sacrificers desiring you get hold of you. All these living creatures display their forms for you only. Woolly strainer stands for ignorance, which is the cause of manifestation of this changing material universe from changeless, non-matter, birthless state. Soma is generated by wise sages for giving existence to imaginary shining beings who are personifications of certain aspects of nature. Prarevha etyadi varamavyayam 86.31. Showerer of happiness, the chatterer, spiritual ray of light, Soma, approaches crossing the undecaying enclosed space, or woolly strainer, making favorable sound among the clouds. Singing intelligent men praise him well. Hymns repeatedly caress the child who is worthy of admiration. As Soma ray of spiritual light makes his appearance in the mind screen of the sages, they praise him by Vedic mantras. All sounds end up in Om or encompassed by Om. Sasuryasya rashmibhi pari, it is 86.32. Covering himself with sun's rays, Atmiya Soma is known like or as if weaving 3-fold web or garment, bringing out the new precepts of nature. This protector of all born creatures approaches the well-prepared home or vessel, which could be heart space of human beings. Comment: sun's rays represent the grass light layer. Threefold web implies grass, subtle and causal layers of ignorance. Bringing out Rita, Soma attains the abode of Atma, Satyaloka. Raja Sindhunam Pavade Padirdiva 86.33. King of flowing water particles and protector of the space, Atmiya Soma flows, moving along the paths of Rita and making noise. The spiritual light ray Soma, possessor of thousands of dharas, getting purified, is being sprinkled by the sacrificer staying close by and generating speech. seer of the Sukta is praising the Soma by these Vedic mantras. Other points mentioned in the Rig are repetitions. Pavamana Mahyarnovi Thavasi 86.34. O purified or flowing shining Soma, you furnish the great spiritual Somadhara. Vedicated like the sun, you get purified in the undecaying or woody strainer, extracted by leaders of men with the gloves and purified by their hands, you flow for the bestowing of the great wealth, namely spiritual light energy. Great Dhara stands for this ever-changing universe. Great wealth should mean truth, knowledge, or spiritual light energy. Ishamutyam Pavamana 86.35. O purified or flowing Atmiya Soma, you move towards food and vigor. You are seated inside the pots or bodies of living creatures, like an eagle in his hole. Soma is most excellent, is supported the space like a pillar, is conspicuous, is exhilarating, and is delight-giving. He is being extracted for giving delight for Indra. These points have already been covered many times before, and this is true about the next two rigs also. Saptasvasaro Abhimadarashishum 86.36. 7 self-moving things who are like sisters or mothers call upon Soma for giving existence to or illuminating all born creatures. He is newly born, he is victorious, he is wise, he is the soul of water particles, he is from the shining space and is beholder of leaders of man. 7 self-moving things could be instruments of perception, 5 sense organs, the mind and ego driven by Atmiya Soma residing in the heart space. Soma drives all living creatures throughout their lifetime. He acts as the universal impeller. Shining space implies Atma, shining with spiritual light, or Purusha. 10.90.1. Ishana ima bhuvanani viyase 86.37. O powerful spiritual Soma, master of all, you approach all living creatures, harnessing spiritual light rays which are like horses having beautiful wings. May they cause to flow sweet water, which is nourishing like ghee. May human beings be established in your commands, Vruta. Tvam mridaksha asi soma vishwata 86.38. O mighty, purified or flowing shining Soma, you are looking after men all over the earth. You run towards the stream of appearing and disappearing forms variously. May you cause to flow wealth consisting of home and gold for us. May we become dwellers in proper houses for our living. No additional comment may be necessary on this work. Govid Pavasva Vasuvit 86.39. O powerful spiritual Soma, you are bestower of rays or cows, wealth or home, and gold. You are the holder of the seed and are placed in all living creatures. May you please flow. You are a good hero. These wise men honor you, who is the possessor of all material forms with Vedic hymns. Seed of the universe is Purusha, as described in 10.90. 86.40 Unmatva Urmirvanana. The illusion or wave of sweet essence brings up desirable hymns of praise. Covering the waters, the great Atmiya Soma plunges into the strainer or vessel. The master having the strainer for chariot, essence, vigor. Spiritual Soma possessing thousands of sharp-pointed rays wins great fame. Soma inspires Vedic speeches in the praises. Rays of spiritual Soma comes into contact with the flowing property of water particles in the minds of the sages. Here Soma essence acquires the vigor or spiritual light in some unknown way. The spiritual light is constituted by thousands of sharp pointed rays which are well famed. This is the implied meaning of Ruk. 86.41 Ruk. Sa Handana Udiyatri Prajavati. Atmiya Soma, giver of essence of life to all, causes rising up of all praises, which are grantors of offsprings and are easily handled in the daytime and at night. O drop of spiritual Soma, drunk by Indra, may you beg Indra for our sake, wealth having horses in the stable, and Vedic hymns which are grantors of offsprings. This Ruk and the next Ruk comment, flowing essence of Atma Soma inspires Vedic hymns in the minds of wise sages, both during the day and night and at night. No further explanation may be necessary on these Ruks. So, Agre Ahnam Hari Harir Haryado Mada. Most desirable pleasure-giving Atmiya Soma ray appears within the minds of the praisers with inspirations. Going to two kinds of men, a laudatory human being and an enlightened soul, he wanders inside bodies of the supporters. This idea is being repeated and hence not commented on here. 86.43 Anjate Vyanjate Samanjate Kratum. Sacrificers purifying with gold honor him variously. Atmiya Soma is falling in the deep breathing of the streaming water particles, who is sprinkler of seed of life and is the sacrificial animal. Also, they honor him nicely with sweet essence. They get hold of him in the water particles and caress the intelligent Soma repeatedly. Vedic praisers honor Soma nicely with Vedic hymns, who shines like gold or who is adorned with gold spiritual light rays. Rest of the Ruk should be self-explanatory. The sacrificial animal is said to be Purusha in 10.90.15. Vipaschite Pavamanaya Gayata 86.44. O praisers, chant Vedic hymns for the wise, purified or flowing Atmiya Soma. He causes much flow of great nourishing food and essence like the stream of rainwater. Like a serpent throwing away its old skin, he throws away the worn-out body. Showerer of happiness, spiritual light ray Soma moves frolicking like a horse. Comment, spiritual light rays Soma throws away worn-out bodies and enters new bodies happily. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navyani grihnati. Bhagavad Gita. Agrego raja vyastavishyate. 86.45. Atmiya Soma is the maker of the day. He is placed in all living creatures. He is a leader and master of all. He is associated with water and is most courageous. The spiritual light ray of Soma, whose surface is brilliant with water, who is looking beautiful, is restless, he is having spiritual light as a chariot, and is belonging to a home, he flows for bringing wealth to all. In the light of comments on earlier rugs, these rugs should be understandable without additional explanation. Asarjiskambho diva udyato mada 86.46. The delightful spiritual Soma essence, who is the support of the space, is rising up. He is being caused to move abundantly. Times repeatedly carries the array, quanta of spiritual energy Soma, who is worthy of admiration. When praisers go to him with Vedic speeches, he adorns himself. This ruk is self-explanatory. Pratedhara Atyanvanimeshya. O powerful spiritual Soma, hastening streams of the purified self-controlled you flow across the fine holes of the bullish trainer. Subduer of space and earth, with your spiritual ray, you getting extracted, sit in the parts or bodies. Flowing a sense of Atma Soma is said to impart existence to all material forms in the universe and to bestow a sense of life on living beings. Last ruk in the Sutta, 86.48. Pavasva Soma Kratuvinna Uktyo. The powerful Soma Atma, O powerful Soma Atma, praiseworthy and grandeur of knowledge, may you please flow for us. May you place around your dear essence in the bullish trainer. Please destroy all devouring demons. We who are good heroes chant excellent hymns in this knowledge sacrifice. This concluding ruk of the sukta is self-explanatory. This is a beautiful sukta, though lengthy. It brings out all qualities attributed to the imaginary flowing essence of Atma, known widely as Pavamana Soma. With this, we conclude today's session.